Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Allendery. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I'm here to help you establish and maintain a consistent Speak Out Home practice routine. We're going to go through the Speak Out exercises, and at the end of this session, if you would like, I'm going to share some information or basically explain our Speak Out workbook and our Speak Out e-library. Several of you know that we are in the middle of revising, updating our Speak Out training for speech language pathologists, and I realized that I need to make a video about the workbook and the e-library. And since I have to make the video, I figured some of you might be interested in knowing about these resources. So we'll do our exercises first and end the session, and then I will continue on and just make a short video about the workbook and the e-library. Let's all take a sip of water with intent. Today's topic, inspired by David Lyons, is hats. It's hat day. Go ahead, everybody say hats with intent. Ready? Hats. Again, speak out. Hats. Do you like to wear hats? Maybe you have a picture of yourself wearing a hat. You could post that in the chat. If you don't have the picture handy right now, you can post it tomorrow or later in the week. But this is what our reading and cognitive exercises will be about. Let's start off with the warm-up. Make sure to connect these sounds and speak out. I don't want you thinking about anything but projecting your voice up and forward. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Really lift your voice. Let me hear you say, may. Ready? May. Do you feel it lifting? It's really important to do that. Let's do the sequence again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. And we're going to do it one more time where we really stretch out the vowels. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Very nice. Let's all take a sip of water with intent. Grab that cup. Think about what you're doing. Activate the intentional motor system. Speak out exercise number 2, the ahs. Deliberately, purposefully open your mouth wide and project the ah forward. Again, we're lifting and projecting it forward. Ready? Ah. The sound should be clear. Don't produce an ah if it doesn't sound clear. If you can only hold it for a couple seconds in a clear voice, that's okay. You'll build up to it. Let's do it again. Ah. Let's do another one. Speak out. Get the voice in front of you. Ready? let's do a shorter one. Ready? And one more. Very good. Let's take a sip of water with intent. Think about it. Speak out exercise number 3, the glides. Project out a steady ah first and then slowly glide up. Even though you're gliding up and down, the sound is always in front of you. Let's do it again. Let's do it. Ah, ah. Good. Let's do it again. This exercise is not about being loud, it's not about yelling, it's not about pushing. It's about projecting the voice forward. That's what it means to speak out. Let's do another one. Good. Let's do one more. Very nice. Let's take a sip of water. The glides are not easy, but so important. Every speak out exercise has a certain purpose, so it's important that you do all 6 exercises when you do your practice. The 4th speak out exercise is the counting. Just like we're lifting our voice, like when we did may, me, or we went ah, or ah, right? You're going to lift when you do the counting. So it's 1, 2, all in front of you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Reach for that last word. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's do it backwards. Start with 16. We're speaking out. Ready? 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, We are being deliberate. We're being purposeful. We're activating a motor system that is not as dependent on dopamine. Take a sip of water. This is why intent is the most important word for people with Parkinson's. When you use intent, when you concentrate and you think about doing things in a certain way, you are activating a motor system that is not as dependent on dopamine, and that's why it works. All right, let's see what Lisa has prepared for us. The topic is hats. Here we go. There are many kinds of hats. Make sure to exaggerate the highlighted words, and we will read each sentence twice. The second time, read it with more intent. Try to speak out more. Ready? There are many kinds of hats. Next one. There are hard hats and top hats. Now with more intent. There are hard hats and top hats. The second time, you're not yelling, but imagine you're on top of a mountain and your voice is flying out forward. Read it the first time. Many people wear baseball caps. The next one. Many people wear baseball caps. We kind of stretch it out a little bit. The next one. There are bonnets and fedoras. Now on top of the mountain, you can even put your hand here. There are bonnets and fedoras. Yeah, we're stretching it out. All right. The next exercise, this is a change with our new Speak Out protocol. The cognitive exercise is now called conversation because that is our goal. These exercises are cognitive, of course, in nature. To have a conversation requires a lot of cognitive work, but we're calling it conversation exercise. So here you go. I want you to name some hats that people wear for their jobs. And so we've got a fireman's hat right here. Go ahead, think of occupations where people normally wear a hat. Have you ever had a job, think back when you were a teenager, a job where you had to wear a hat? Go ahead, say it with intent, use complete sentences, jobs that you have had where you had to wear a hat. Now, how about this one? Hats that people wear outside. Go ahead. What kind of hats can you think of that people wear outside, not necessarily when they go into a building? Many of you know that my grandfather had a Mexican restaurant. We're Lebanese, but he had a Mexican restaurant called Karam's Mexican Dining Room in San Antonio, Texas. And he would never let men come in with a hat on. He would not serve any man if he had a hat on. He and my grandmother opened the restaurant in 1946. All right. Fashionable hats for dressing up. Do you know the names of these hats? And if you don't know the actual names, describe them. What kind of hats would people wear when they're dressing up? Let's read these with intent. Pillbox hat, top hat, beret, fedora. Let's read those with more intent. Speak out more in front of you. Pillbox hat, top hat, beret, fedora. Go ahead and take a sip of water with intent. Now, Dr. Boons' words are not technically, or they're not a part of the 6 Speak Out exercises, but Dr. Boone gave us these words to help strengthen the back of the tongue for swallowing, and so we like to do them. There's no research on these words, but a lot of the patients we treat say that they feel like they help them, so we do them with the online sessions. Let's say each one twice with intent. Gula gang ga ga. Again. Gula gang ga ga. Next one. Ku ka mangu ka. On top of the mountain. Ku ka mangu ka. Next one. Gangla, gangla. And the last one. Kukla, kukla. Go ahead and take a sip of water if you need it. We're going to do the bonus reading. And then I am going to stay on for anybody that would like to learn more information about our Speak Out workbook and our Speak Out e-library. I won't stay on too long, but it's a video that I have to make for our new course, and I thought you would be interested in the information. But we'll do our bonus reading first. Newsboy cap. Let's read this with intent. This is all about speaking out in running speech. We call it running speech. So it's not just one phrase or one sentence at a time. It's being able to speak out as we say one sentence after the other after the other. Stretch out the highlighted words. It makes us use more intent. Here we go. As the name suggests, this hat style earned its name by being the hat worn most often by newsboys in the early 20th century. The implied working class style is misleading. However, the newsboy cap was commonly worn by teens and young men of all social classes, seen on the heads of many golfers and even well-to-do sportsmen. Now, you got used to the words. We're going to read it again with even more intent. Imagine you're on top of the mountain. Here we go. Ready? As the name suggests, this hat style earned its name by being the hat worn most often by newsboys in the early 20th century. The implied working class style is misleading. However, the newsboy cap was commonly worn by teens and young men of all social classes, seen on the heads of many golfers and even well-to-do sportsmen. All right. Thank you for joining me for today's online Speak Out Home practice. If you would like to stay on for a few minutes more and learn more about our Speak Out workbook and our Speak Out e-library, stay with us. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. All right, here's the video. I am now going to tell you about Parkinson Voice Project Speak Out workbook. This is a workbook that outlines the entire Speak Out Therapy Program. Every person with Parkinson's or a related neurological disorder can have their speech-language pathologist order a Speak Out workbook for them. Orders are made online, so Speak Out providers will go log into their account on Parkinson Voice Project's website, and they will order the workbook for their patients who are going through Speak Out therapy. There are 24 lessons in the Speak Out workbook. During Speak Out therapy, every patient should be doing their exercises twice a day. Some patients do every lesson in the workbook twice a day, and other patients participate in an online Speak Out home practice session one time a day, and then use the workbook for their second practice session. But while going through Speak Out therapy, every patient should be working their way through the workbook, doing at least one lesson every day, and either participating in the online practice session or doing one of the lessons a second time. All 6 Speak Out exercises are laid out in the workbook, and for every Speak Out therapy session or every home practice session, every exercise needs to be done. Parkinson Voice Project has also developed an e-library. This is especially important for people with Parkinson's and their providers who live in other countries. And I'm going to show you what the e-library looks like. Patients, besides getting a workbook, their speech-language pathologist will also sign them up for the Speak Out e-library. And it looks like this. Workbooks and access to the e-library are only available to those patients who are working one-on-one with a Speak Out provider. That is because we want every patient to have their best opportunity to improve their speech and their swallowing. So everybody with Parkinson's really needs to be working one-on-one with a Speak Out provider and then practicing on their own. In the e-library, there are all different kinds of flashcards. There's photo cards, word cards, conversation cards, math cards. We're going to be developing more sets, different sets of flashcards. Like one idea we have is to have a set of cards that has idioms on there where you would describe the idioms. The e-library also has, let me go full screen so you can see it, different kinds of workbooks. We have our Out and About workbook, we have our Year of Intent, our USA workbook, and our Sing with Intent workbook. We even have a tongue twister book, and we've also included Dr. Boons Words, which lots of patients like to do. We've included Boons Nonsense Words in the e-library. Parkinson Voice Project's mission is to help people with Parkinson's and related neurological disorders regain and retain their speech and their swallowing. We know it's hard for people with Parkinson's to do their Speak Out exercises every day, and that is why we have developed the Speak Out workbook to help the patients and also the e-library. And in addition, we are also helping the Speak Out providers. We want you focused on helping your patients to get better. And we're trying to save you time and money so that you will not have to plan or prepare or make up your own therapy materials. They all come with the Speak Out therapy program. Thank you, everybody who stayed on for that explanation. I hope that it helped, and I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.